The soundtrack in my background is one exuding from an agricultural activity here in Weta, in the Volta region. A tractor operator retrofitting a rice field to get it ready for transplanting of seedlings. It is a measure of the improvement that is coming the way of rice farmers or smallholder farmers in the area. It is the natural outflow or the logical outflow of a system that is supported. And here mention must be made of the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program that draws support from the International Fund for Agricultural Development, which is an international component of the whole scheme. My name is Napoleon Atukito. I will be your host in the next 30 minutes or so on GTV Farmers Weekly. GBC's Farmers Weekly team headed Ketu North in the Volta region, specifically to a small town called Weta, where farming is predominant. Locations like these are of prime interest to the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, with funnels support to poor rural communities. Object of attention in this case includes peasant farmers, otherwise called smallholder farmers. These are farmers cultivating small plots of land to earn a living, which falls below even subsistence culture, especially when there are farm losses. Worldwide, IFAD aims at turning around the plight of poor communities into one of hope and material progress, hence its deliberate involvement in their affairs. In Ghana, IFAD finds expression through the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program, GASEP, which is its own creation or baby, and therefore partners the state in deployment of materials to farming communities. Urbanization is spreading, but at Weta, farmlands have not been chipped away by other competing interests. The existing lands remain intact for their routine or original purpose, which is crop farming. Farming activities were largely the primitive hoe and cutlass regime until advent of the Ghana Agricultural Sector Investment Program GASEP in 2015. Here, a woman farmer waves a hand to stop a passing tractor whose services are required on her farm, amidst the uncertainties associated with unplanned encounters like this. The tractor operator may or may not stop on the spur of the moment, assuming someone else had sought the facility beforehand. Even when farmers got the services, they got poor services due to the rush involved. The situation of the small-scale farmer in Ghana was characterized by long waiting periods for tractors. They walked long distances in search of tractors or had to wait in the field for long spells of time for the limited number of tractors which served the entire community. As a result of delays, the rains set in long before farming operations began. This undermined productivity.
Menya gredalale avala viveta irrigation screen. Niye joye ba cha mi dina trata bana wodonami akami kponi achavu afia ko trata le nto mo wa wodo aka fifia to gasip ji kle ifa to ji ona mi trata wala nto mo kle zubene bana wodona fifia.
This was our situation in the past. Fate played it out perfectly for you to see how we were suffering to get things done. We walked several kilometers in search of tractor operators. It always came down to the drudgery of hoe and cutlass until GASEP came into the picture to turn things around.
Aleke tractor mela fiagojia. Aleke mione he nye family nye woma me yina ngo
Echa na di trata chofia mile Ketu North te atano trata dim la valavia aire jojelo agove alo Weta afia ba di trata for na yi ha nchuo azu onye ta ne miawo ta ne wole woƒe agbleme ale be wòawɔ vɔ ɖɔka mi nɔ mi wɔnɛ kple su be zãdo na hafi eʋɔ nayɔ be yeva ɖo agblea dzi hafi nava yi hafi wòawɔ dɔ ne.
The agricultural team embarked on a field trip purposely for a cursory observation of the space in and around Weta in the Volta region. We kept combing around till we chanced on a scene that appeared to typify the scenario that existed in the past before the advent of GASIP, which is supported by IFAD. Here, the woman, as we all saw, waved her hand to stop a tractor which was passing by. Now, the scenario is different, where the new system ensures that farmers are able to make requisitions for farming tractors to be supplied to them. Under this project, spearheaded by IFAD and implemented by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture under GASIP, the government of Ghana has procured tractors for supplies to FBOs, which are the farmer-based organizations around the country.
These people have really helped us. Some time ago, for 3 weeks, we never saw a tractor around. That's when one chanced on a tractor. You did not bother to wait on the farm whilst the machine harrows the land for you. It was once in a blue moon kind of thing. At times, we abandoned our families just to catch a tractor. Terrible past.
Tractor penya nyatepe denafu makpona tractor wawona owawodo mi.
The ordinary farmer hasn't got all the necessary tools to undertake farming, which brings the best results. They have helped us, but we need more since the task is heavier than the supplies needed to overcome it.
Aleke ni tractor pe do ma akpede nyenchi.
Tractor ma do wo. Eno nyahia ma aleke gbegbe. Mi kpona avuo wo do na mi.
Families, women and children will forever remain grateful to this institution or group which has come to our aid. They should bring more of such help. We need it.
Na ava nyama kwata sama haruna yipatako ada kpoga ova wenu kaka masugbo na mi nyejimbo oga va sugbo na mi ova de na ama hoshi gala nyama hoshi gamala ova de na mi nyeno fa han vivi o sugbo ran to ma na mi akpongo yile nyama gbede de uma maji memela
acha trata mali baba kabifia ichomile uku wata uku ogwebeni.
To speak the truth, tractor services were scarce in Weta, even though it is predominant in farming. The few operators worked overtime to meet requests. Now, the situation has improved.
Tractor va pekpem re mia mala gbegbe ana mia problem afi o te solve la de manami.
In fact, the tractor services provided by GASIP has been of great help to us. We suffered too much in the past. Please note that any intervention you make in our farming activities are highly appreciated.
A good condition.
When GASIP started rolling out its program, especially from 2019, came the timely and affordable tractor services at all its service centers in Ghana. Some beneficiary farmers placed the positive changes squarely at the doorsteps of GASIP. Now, land preparation is better,
I am hired to plow the land by the owner of this farm. He wants to get the land ready for the next planting season. Plant residues are left in the field to serve as organic manure. It is a little hassle, but we are always determined to rise to the occasion.
There is increase in women participation in crop production and easier haulage of farm produce. This is an example of what women farmers can do. This one single-handedly spearheaded the cultivation of a land. She had just gone to harvest okra. Maize is the other crop she cultivates. On a farmland here in Weta, still in the Volta region, we met a woman farmer who tells us that she cultivates rice and okra. Tucked in my armpit is a bucket full of fresh okra, which she says costs about 50 Ghana cedis. Now, this should sound as a subtle warning to the distribution chain pliers who buy it so cheaply from the source and then inflate the prices back in the cities like Kumasi, Accra, and other regional capitals. That is why food inflation has been driving the overall inflation of the country.
I am a farmer. I cultivate maize and vegetables. A basket full of okra sells 40 or 50 Ghana cedis. Farming helps me to look after my family.
40 plus 50.
The system incorporated persons living with disabilities, one of whom is Mr. Eric Avevo, a rice farmer. He mirrors the transitioning regime of subsistence to commercial farming under the watch of GASE. Mr. Avevo is a professional tailor but soon gravitated to farming as full-time business when he realized the external helps could lift farming to new heights.
Please tell them I wish I have my own tractor to make work on the farm even more easier. I will pay back small. It was terrible in the past, but the help we are getting now has boosted our production. Tractors, fertilizers, seeds, training, good.
Vadashine fertilizer, nimi dagla fia, fi mi akpo fertilizer akọ dagla, ezo agba. Kumi vala jivu. Ma opa mon vova aboborava, uyene ba gasip. Ala ba gasip ma ava provide ava provide tractor nimi. Aye o provide agba dan le shara fertilizer akpo totimu. Akpara mian yikaba mia pa agba da. Ava chofo nimi nwie. Yikaba o dam yaji ala gbagba. Ta fi fila ifia, mia pa agba da ofia. Oh, meji jo pomolama nya glada ka kra nye fifia aro time na harvest kai habo bovafia madi mafia gble kam ya pa unde ku hira ka gala mya nya ba avo mosu gbona miu de ka kwema.
A combined harvester soon appeared on the scene to harvest the rice. Within minutes, the machine had collected enough in the field. It was then discharged into waiting arms of women who provided sacks to collect the produce, a sharp contrast to the previous situation where they threshed rice with manpower with all the attendant discomfort.
Sugar sepa, opere miau le nufa fia vovovo me gba o va fia nu mi train mi le ya fa grede da o me le ke mi ado molu ana
GASIP has really helped farmers in Weta. They gave us tractors and other machines to make work easier for us. They gave us Wellington boots, trained us on the best agriculture practices. They gave us seeds to plant and taught us how to apply fertilizers. We really appreciate their role in our business.
I'm very, very happy. At first, we use our manpower in harvesting, but with the new technology that has come, and we are able to have these combined harvesters, and it helps us a lot. Formerly, if you have even 1 acre of rice with manpower, it takes a longer time or a longer period of time before you see to it and you bring it to the floor. But with the machine, now within some 20 minutes to 30 minutes, you will be able to bring it out. And for the aspect of the machinery, with the help of these tractors, we have tractors on the field anyway, but we still need more that can help us so that our farming can go on successfully. And we are just appealing for the government to show concern and help us so that we'll be able to have more harvesters and more tractors so that the production of rice can be effective and help us very well.
Our field here, we have 2 seasons, minor season and a major season, like we are harvesting today. So hot, we have some machine, we call it power tiller. Normally, if rain fall like this, tractor cannot go and work. It's that small machine I'm talking about, power tiller, it is supposed to do the work before you can either you transplant or you broadcast. So we are appealing to the government that the power tiller or the mini tractor too, we also need it in our project here. Combined harvester, you have a lot of combined harvester, but the one that will help us, like we are seeing now, the one that is working over here now, is the most best that can help us in this field. Because some field, if you go inside, the machine will go there, it will remain. When it remain, that you go back to take manpower. You can right now you can get those people who's working at past. Once the machine is around, you can get those people again. So we need this type of machine. If they can do it more powerful than this one too. So we need this type of combined harvester.
Other smallholder farmers had their farms harrowed by tractor operators. Though farmers find GASIP interventions as huge sources of relief, they want increased mechanization for greater ease of work. Women or wives of farmers applied themselves across the entire value chain, including the stage where rice is milled for bagging. GASIP has organized activities of poor farmers in rural communities in such a way that there are prompt supplies to end users, be they mechanization or improved seeds, fertilizers, agronomic services, commercialization, and training. These are some of the registration scenes of farmers in Weta which departed them from chance situations. The formalized system allows the farmers to pipe their concerns and requisitions for prompt assistance. The protocols have granted farmers smooth access to technologies for weed control, pest management, water conservation, and to adopt climate-smart procedures. You may recall that a farmer called Eric Avevo, who cultivates rice at Weta, was cited early on as a do-well within the process. Well, this is Mrs. Avevo in a mailing station which partially serves as a warehouse. She helped out the mailing of paddy rice brought from her husband's farm. While she is at it, her husband could be at liberty to track the chain and prevent a situation where the wife is shortchanged at the final stages of the production cycle, which are milling and bagging. Madame Shine Akako is District Director for Agriculture in the adjoining district of South Tung.
They started with climate smart agriculture and then also farming as a business. They took them through the training. And this is one of the models that they started with. It's one of the training manual that they use in training the farmers. So how to prepare the seedlings before transplanting so that they can have a good yield. Thanks to Almighty Gossip, they've been using the tractor in plowing. But initially, these women and the farmers, they have to be running after the operators, the local one, pleading with them. And sometimes before they even get to their turn, the season, you know, agriculture is seasonal. The season is over. So with the intervention of Gossip, the ABO came together as a group and they gave them tractor for operating these smallholders. And they have cluster of groups that came together to form. So now with the mechanization, I could say we are happy that now Gossip have intervened and they can now use tractor to plow. And it's now timing. They can grow their crops on time and then harvest on time, and they are able to also do both seasons. Initially they couldn't cope because of the few tractors available.
She gave insights into the operations, such as helps that positioned farmers to save part of their earnings and to add value to their produce before marketing them.
Because we want a transition, we want a change. We want the farmers to change from subsistence to commercial. So I hope all these things are intervention that's going to help the farmers to grow. And even after farming, they've also intervened the women to process their produce. There are some few produce here, you can see the vegetables, tomatoes, they can preserve the tomatoes and it will stay for a year. And they try to preserve in such a way that we can retain the nutrients. It will not damage so much. It's not like the normal tomato paste. So they are happy with it and there is a change. Even feeding the family now, when there is a glut, they can preserve some down to use in the future. Aside that also, nutrition-wise, they can process the rice, some into Tom Brown. They sell it to the local market and then for the home consumption as well. The cassava too, they process it into cassava flour. So in fact, Gossip had done a lot for South Tung District. And we are pleading that they should still continue with the assistance. They shouldn't stop.
Gossip relies on District Directors of Agriculture, DDAs, under a contract to execute their mandate on their behalf from time to time.
Initially, it was difficult reaching out to them because the little that the government will bring to is not timely, it delays. So with the intervention of Gossip, our extension officers get to the farmers on time. You know, farming, agriculture is seasonal. So when they go and then we train them and they apply the principles, put it into practice, then the outcome is yielding results. Now, farmers can boast of timely harvesting of their produce. As a result, post-harvest is being minimized. The loss that they incur is minimized through the training that they've been acquiring.
Gossip had their value chain officer on the ground in the person of Mr. Stephen Deborah, who said the program will be reinforced to make it even better in line with dynamics on the agricultural front.
As part of our program, we've supported a number of FBOs with tractors. Currently, we have about 6 tractors in the region. And these are serving the smallholder farmers very well. They now have affordable and timely services to mechanization activities. Tractor wasn't the only support that we gave to farmers. We also supported them with inputs, quality seeds and fertilizers that enable them to have access to quality production, and that has led to doubling of their yields. As you can see from what we saw on the field, farmers are happy with the sort of yield they are having. You saw the quality of the rice and all that. And this was also complemented by the training we offered through the District Department of Agriculture in the region. We have trained more than 20,000 farmers all over in the region, in both rice, maize, and the vegetable cultivation.
When he was asked about Weta, this is what he said.
Their production has doubled, and the quality of produce has also improved, such that they now have very good market prices for them, as you witness on the field. Currently, we are supporting them through some financial activities, making sure that they are able to save in their groups and loan to themselves for their production activities. This is also ongoing, and you can hear this from the District Department of Agriculture, where VSLA groups are trained. We have also introduced a methodology called Gender Action Learning Systems, where various gender roles are put together for the farmers to understand what their roles in the households are or in the communities are. For example, when we went to the farm, you realize that whilst the men were producing on the field, the women were taking their produce to the processing plant to be processed. You also notice that whilst they were there, their men were also standing by watching the activities so that the women are not shortchanged. And it's all because of the girls' training that we've offered to them that made them understand the role of their various respective roles in the household.
Africa sits on one of the largest reservoirs of infinite natural resources, which, tapped to the fullest, can change the lives of its people. And that is agriculture, which need not run or descend or slide into a crisis or food shortages. Our attention was brought to this fact when Ghana made a point at the 77th UN General Assembly meeting in New York. It said that Africa commands the largest share of the world's arable land, which is about 60%. That statement was instructive. We end Farmers Weekly on this note. My name is Napoleon Atto Kito.